Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another technical look at the precious metals. My name is JR. Today's September 10th, 2014, 1:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's do some gold and silver analysis. Excuse me. And this is your daily chart here. All right. So this morning, just a little bit ago, we hit the last key zone here. This is a great time to buy here. Right over here at 12:45. That's where we're currently trading right now at 12:45. So exactly at the zone, we actually hit a low of roughly 12:43 and about 3/4. Okay. Again, my trade idea was to get in here in this zone and put a stop loss roughly around 12:36, 12:37. And we're looking for a minimum 2-to-1 on this trade, but excuse me, technically we can go much higher, so we would do trail stops with this trade here, right? So stochastics on the weekly chart, this is a weekly chart here. Stochastics on the weekly chart here looks like they're looking to turn, but still on the downside, so still further room to fall, but again still in the zone. Now in the weekly zone, the price here was at roughly at 12:53, and on the daily zone was within that zone. It was between 12:44. They both have the same low here at roughly around 12:40. So key level here. If the buyers don't come in here, this thing can continue to drop heavily, and it can actually get very heavy. Now the reason why I like this trade here, again, high probability. So again, I'm looking for a minimum 2 to 3 to 1 on this trade here. Now, I'll do a long-term analysis here on this weekly chart, right? So one of the things that I like to point out here on this market, gold is no longer, at least as of now, is no longer on a downtrend, right? If we break this line here, then I guess technically on the weekly chart, you're going to be on a downtrend. But as of now, we want to see who has control, right? The sellers or the buyers, right? So this is the level where you're going to find the this is the level where you're going to find the buyers, right? That was the first level, right? And this is the level. I'm sorry, these are the sellers, right? And these are the where you're going to find the buyers, right? So let's let's make this green for the buyers, and we'll leave the other one red for the sellers, right? So who's in control now, right? On this weekly chart, obviously on some sideways consolidation, right? So we came down here for a big drop back in 2013, a lot of momentum, a lot of buyers here. It was actually able to take this level here. Now this level here is very important level, because this was the level that actually took out this level here, right? This is a really solid level of support. Now you saw here, right, back here, it actually tested this level here. This is really the zone that you want to look at, right? This is really the zone, roughly around here. Probably something like this, right? This is the zone, and you can see this zone extends all the way. This zone extends all the way out here, right? So it actually tested the zone, but did not take out the zone, right? So key zone here. So you were not able to take the zone out, and then you had a big move back to the upside. It actually came down roughly to 13.25, and came back up to almost 1500 before dropping. Now you had another attempt here. It wasn't able. You had some consolidation over here, right? You had some consolidation right here, right? And then you had the next fall. Boom, takes out this key level. So strong area of resistance here, and we were able to take it out on the first shot up. Took it out by a few points. Came up to the level here. The high was 1423. We ended up establishing a high of 1433, right? Come back down. Now the sellers here did not have enough strength to take this low here being 1181. I think that was the low, right? Low was 1180 and 42 cents. That was that low. And these sellers had control, but they were not able to create another low. So technically, now you're in sideways consolidation, right? You have some established resistance up here, right? Come up here. Was not able to sustain these prices, but the seller still took over and brought it down over here. Now we go back up. We surpassed this high, right? Surpassed this high, clearly, but we do not create another high. Sellers regain control. And I look for strong levels of resistance and support. So I'm looking where people are buying and where people are selling. So right here, we can see that there was some buying going on. Buying, and then prices takes off. So this is a key level, right? Just like this is a key level here, right? So you had some, so again, prices come down, a little bit more consolidation. You have a drop, you do not take out the low. You come back up, you take out this high, was not able to sustain, big red candle here, and again we come back down. Now this level here is still playing out. This is still the level that's in control. Why? Because you come back up, you go up, you come down, you do not create another low. This is your low here, right? So this is your zone. Your zone is from here to there roughly, right? You can probably put it down here, but I'll put it up here. So 1330 was the low that these sellers wanted to take out. They were not able to take them out. We found some buyers over here, rallied back up. Market took out this high over here. Took this high out. We can see that with this green candle here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Right? Take this we were not able to create another low, right? So the buyers regain control, and here we got some sellers. Of course, the sellers bring it right back down. So this is the deal. As of now, we are trading sideways, but technically we are still a little bit more bullish. Why? Because the sellers have not been able to take out this important zone, and the sellers still have not been able to take out this important zone here, roughly at around 1240. So you got a low here, 1229 before it rallies. You have another low here of 1240 before it rallies. Currently, the low is 1243. We have not taken out this low here of 1240. So roughly 1240 is bearish, and if you fall below 1220, again, that means that these sellers do have enough strength to bring this back down over here. Now the question is, do these sellers have enough strength to create another low below 1180? And that's the question. So this is the reason why I like this trade here, is because, again, until proven guilty, right, this is a good rally that rallies every time we hit the zone. And until we if we fall below this area here, the 1230 level, 1229 level, these zones are still buyers. Now again, I'm looking at this weekly zone. I care about areas that look fresh, and this is the freshest area I could find, right? This area has already been tested. At this point, are we going to go deeper within this, deeper, and get out of and create another low, 1240, right? Are we going to go deeper into this zone here, come back down here to 1231 or below, or are we going to take off from here? Now again, based on that, I like these odds. Again, you buy here, roughly 1244, 1245. That's where this daily zone is. Okay, and it's within the zone that we were just talking about here, roughly 1220, 1229 is roughly right here. So this is where we're finding buyers that are bringing it in, and we have to see if the buyers are going to come in. But again, good trade. you're risking, let's say 7 or 8. You're risking about $8, $9 to possibly come back over here and look for more buyers before this thing comes back down further or just continues to go. So this is one of those trades where you want to just trail just in case this thing is going to keep going. But again, this could be one of those trades that turns from a 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1 because it continues to rally just like it did here. But again, this chart really shows you where these buyers are. This is where the buyers are coming in, and here we are testing it for the first time since June of 2014. So roughly a couple of months, right? So good trade here. Let's see if it works out. But again, I like the odds. As far as a long-term basis, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily buy here as far as a long-term trade. I mean, if you haven't purchased already, this is a great time to buy the below 1250. Great time to buy. But really, as far as a long-term, you are looking for this area here. If we even come back down here at this point, we have to see if these sellers are going to be able to penetrate this level of these buyers here and beat them and bring this thing down here, and seeing if the buyers are going to continue to accumulate at these levels. But as of now, we've surpassed this very, very important high, which was right here, but we have not been able to get it. We have not been able to penetrate this level, which is the next level we're looking at, right? So as of now, the sellers are in control here on the medium term, but until we fall below this level here, the 1240, this is still a great opportunity to buy and gain a couple of percentage points on here, okay? Let's look at silver. Now, silver is a different story, right? Silver, if I'm looking at silver here, again, you beat this high, which was a significant high back here, right? This is your big rally, and you beat this high. So these sellers were not able to take over. Some of them got pulled out of the market, but they were still able to gain control. Come back down here, and we have not been able to create a newer low, right? So this is your level here. This is where it all starts, right? This is where it all started, at least on the daily chart, right? If I look at the weekly chart, it's probably a little bit different. But on the weekly chart, really, this is where you're finding people accumulating, right? You come up here, you create a high, you're not able to create a higher high, which is bearish, right? This is the new line. This is how the new line looks. This is what the old line looks, and we're still trading above this line. So as long as we continue to stay above this line here, you are good. And like I said on the previous video here, this is the fresh level that I'm looking at. And why am I looking at this level? Is because this is the level that took out one of our most important trend lines, right? So this level here, right here, this level was able to take out this key trend line here. So this is where you're going to find some buyers. This is where we found the buyers to take us out of this trend line, and this should be the buyers that are going to take us above this level here. So this, again, great trade. I think I mentioned it last time. 1904 was the buying price. You put a stop loss roughly over here. You can be aggressive, put it at 1845, 1840, or you can be a little bit more conservative and just put your stop at the previous low of 1820. Either way, this is a great risk to reward. If you're risking 1 or 2% of your account, you should be able to make 2 or 3 or 4% on this trade. If you get stopped out, that's the way the game works, right? But on a long-term basis, this is a great time to buy and continue to accumulate, even if this price continues to go down further, right? But as of now, we have not been able to create another low, and as of now, these buyers are strong. They're strong enough to take us above this trend line, so they should be they should still be there to take us back up to at least $21, right? At least retest this level. Stochastics are very oversold, and we actually have a little bit of this goes up, this goes down, and this goes up. So let's see what happens. But again, the dollar is way overvalued. I'll do a chart of the dollar right now. Hold on. Okay, now here's the dollar. Again, like I said on the previous video, this is going to be an important high here around 85. 85. Now, similar to gold and silver, these sellers, these dollar sellers, right, have not been able to take out this low here. So it'll be interesting to see how this is all going to play out, because we have a clear low here. All right. We have another low, and we have more lows over here, right? So these sellers have not been able to create new lows, right? These buyers have not been able to create a new high just yet. Now, here we actually did create another high here. So again, these buyers are strong buyers, and at this point we want to see if these sellers are going to regain control and bring this thing back down here. Okay, above this level here, which is quite possible being that this already made 3 higher highs, above this line here you're going to find some resistance here. That's where you're going to look to find some resistance around 85.5, or you can look to find some resistance at the high at around 80, 84 and 3/4. So this is where you're going to find your first one and your second one. And I think when the dollar was in the 83 range, I think that's when I said that we're looking to find some resistance up here. And if this level holds as resistance, then these levels here for silver between $18.45 and $18 and $19, and for gold between, let's say, $12.30 and $12.40, that's the only way we're going to see these levels hold. So we're going to see these levels hold if these levels for the dollar hold as resistance. Okay, and that's about it. So I just wanted to make sure we were clear on some of these levels. But again, a great opportunity here for a quick, you know, I would target here on this trade here 45. You're risking $9, and you're possibly looking to make your first target would probably be roughly this area here. Okay, so starting roughly at around 1280 or 12, let's say 1278 or so. Okay, that could be your first target. You can be a little bit less aggressive and make your first target just the 2-to-1. But again, you wanna do trails, because there's a good chance that this thing can start to rally here. But you never know. The Europe right now, you know what's kind of happening in the euro. The euro is just a mess. A lot of money going into U.S. dollars from the euro, and because of the euro, and with this Scottish independence thing, a lot of people are selling pounds as well and going into dollars. So the dollar could continue with strength, but ultimately, again, if that's the case where the dollar is going to continue to gain, then most likely what you have is you'll have some intervention by the hands, by the benevolent hands, which is the Federal Reserve. All right, and let's remember, deflation is what they're trying to prevent. So gold, if gold continues to go down, they're going to have to get more aggressive. So again, I like this trade. I like this trade a lot. This trade could be a trade that returns a pretty good chunk. But again, all trades, you want to make sure you're at least risking 1 in order to make 2. So if you lose 1, and again, sometimes it happens where this thing just continues to rally, and now you have 3, 4, 5 to 1, and that's what you want. What you want to do is you want to take any opportunity that you can in order to risk 1 and possibly make 2 or 3, because that way, even if you're doing 2-to-1 on your average trades, you'd have to be wrong 7.5 times in order to break even. All right, guys, I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.